Hello friends, welcome to Acharya 90 FM, your own radio, myself RJ Tejaswini. Today in our guest interview, we have invited Dr. Yogesh Dhanjani sir. Hello sir, welcome to Acharya 90 FM. As exams are around the corner and the stress levels are skyrocketing, but don't worry, we have Dr. Yogesh Dhanjani with us today to share his expert tips on handling exam stress. Welcome doctor. So with a PhD in mass communication, Dr. Yogesh Dhanjani is also pursuing psychology. Thank you sir for joining us on Acharya 90 FM, and today we'll discuss all the how to deal with the stress and how the students should prepare for the exams.
Correct.
So first of all, of course, why do students feel that they are stressed out? That could be the first question.
So, thank you Tejaswini for inviting me and asking me to talk about exam stress. As we all know, there are a lot of expectations from the family. All these students, they come from different backgrounds. So there is pressure from teachers, there is pressure from peers, and there is also a lot of expectation, right? So obviously it gives us a bit of anxiety, it gives us a bit of stress, and students feel stressed because there is so much of performance that is expected from them. Looking how competitive the world is today, students are getting even more stressful, and it's very necessary to address this phenomenon.
But I think they've gone through the 10th board exams, they've gone through the 12th board exams, but now they are going for a degree course and degree exams. So I think they're used to this board typical exam, and they'll be facing the entrance exams also for appearing in different colleges. So how should they plan their stress now?
See, the best part about scoring in the study process is taking less stress and planning more. I think planning can really make a person move mountains. So it's better to start at least a month before exam. And Tejaswini, there's a very interesting technique called the Pomodoro technique. So what happens in this technique is you study for 25 minutes and then you take a break of 5 minutes. So what happens is whatever you have studied gets absorbed in the brain properly. The brain gets that relaxation period and then you restart. So as we all know that, you have short-term memory, long-term memory. So first you perceive something, you absorb that information, it goes into your short-term, and with recall and repetition, it goes into your long-term. So it's very necessary to understand that the more you revise, the more time you read, you will be able to absorb that information more. Besides that, mixing subjects. If you keep reading the same subject for 12 hours a day, you'll be really bored. There are so many different subjects. Under NEP 2020, there are around 13 subjects that students are writing. Imagine sitting with one subject all day. If you take a little bit of every subject, you will be able to focus better, because you will get a variety of things to learn. Everybody needs variety. Our brain also needs variety. So it's very important to follow these techniques.
Okay, and you must be facing the students with different IQ levels, because their subject interest varies.
Yes.
So how the students they are different. They are having a different look. The intention is different to look at the subject.
Yes.
So how you differentiate the subjects, subject wise, if you talk.
See, everybody has a favorite subject. Everybody has a subject that they like more or they like less. Even the subjects that you do not like, you must try to understand that it is a very necessary part of your curriculum. And of course, you can really focus on your favorite subject, but it's necessary to equally divide all the subjects. So we never tell the students, okay, you focus on this or focus on that. We believe that every subject should get equal focus, and some subjects obviously are better suited to the students' aptitude or EQ or even IQ for that matter, and we encourage students all the time for that.
And now we'll talk about the lifestyle. So how the lifestyle does it impact? It has an impact on the stress.
So one thing that has taken the entire society like a plague is nighttime scrolling. I
Yeah.
think all the students are spending entire night scrolling reels, and even adults are doing it. And
The same.
there is so much of addiction to social media, and this makes your lifestyle very sluggish in the morning. In the morning, when you wake up, you simply can't wake up. You are constantly like struggling to get out of the bed.
Yeah.
And we see that a lot. So, first thing is to focus on your sleep. It is mandatory, or I must say not mandatory, but necessary to have your 8 hours of sleep. Also, a lot of students love momos and they love Chinese
Frankies,
and
yeah.
Frankie and all that. But I think junk food adds on to that sluggishness. These are sodium rich foods, you know. They elevate your blood pressure, they increase hypertension, they make you more stressful. Food has a lot to do with your stress.
Yeah.
The kind of food that students prefer are all junk food. But if they eat healthy, home cooked meals, they put veggies and fruits in their diet, have a balanced diet, I think that will really improve their lifestyle. Besides this, some food items like nuts, bananas, dark chocolate, they boost your brain. They make you absorb information better. And even exercising and meditation. I think nobody sits in one corner and meditates today. Everybody wants to like just go on with the fast life. But it's very necessary to do some yoga, to do some exercise, to do some meditation, to look within yourself. I think it's very necessary to look inside yourself, introspect, and meditate from time to time. That would really, really help your lifestyle. I think that will make you excited and better prepared for your exam.
And nowadays the youngsters are very calorie conscious. So they, especially girls are very much I should look slim and trim and all this they are having in their minds. So that also impacts your day-to-day routine.
Correct.
Do you feel so?
Yes.
should
So
we
see,
do
there are two kind of populations. There is one kind of population that does not care
Okay.
the amount of calories. Then there's another population who eats a balanced diet, and I think that is the most healthiest
Healthier.
option. And then there's a third type of population that forces the body to starve. You know, we want to look all nice and all that. Remember, anything done in extreme is going to affect you badly, right? So, even though students are calorie conscious, it is good to be calorie conscious. But at the same time, give your body the essential nutrients. Don't starve yourself. Going on a crash diet is not the solution. And intermittent fasting is not a solution. I think if one starts eating in a balanced manner, everything can fall into place.
And now I would request you to put some light on, you can suggest some quick stress relief techniques for our students.
Right. So there are a few techniques that students can easily do. Firstly is deep breathing. This is basically 4 plus 7 plus 8. Okay, so you inhale the breathe for 4 seconds, your breath for 4 seconds. You hold for 7 seconds, and then you exhale this for 8 seconds. It's a very relaxing technique. You know, your heart rate will slow down, and you will feel very much at ease because that anxiety builds up when you have to study a lot. Second is the power pose. If you confidently stand for 2 minutes and you do some positive self-talking, you know, I'm going to do it, I'm going to ace the exam. If you do positive thinking, automatically your body starts preparing for a positive outcome. But if you say, no, I'm a failure, I can't do this, I will fail in this exam, and all these negative thoughts if you have, then your body also goes into the same negative spiral. Okay, so this is something that you can do. You have to constantly tell yourself that I'll do my best, and leave the rest to all the hard work that you have done and the destiny. Besides that, music really helps. When I study, I always make sure that some amount of music I listen to, and I don't listen to hardcore rock or heavy metal. I listen to very calm Indian classical music. It really, those ragas, they can really relax you. They soothe in your body, and that whole anxiety drops. So music is a very good idea to sort of reduce your stress levels.
Yeah. We'll take a short break here and again join with you, Dr. Yogesh Dhanjani. So,
Acharya 90 FM
Welcome after the short break. You're listening to Acharya 90 FM, your own radio, and today we are having special session with Dr. Yogesh Dhanjani sir, and he is telling us about how to handle the stress. So now, sir, we'll talk about the parents and teachers also play a very important role during exam period. So could you put more light on that?
Absolutely. So see, what happens is instead of pressuring students, one must offer them encouragement. You know, parents can be extremely critical and can give a lot of criticism. At the same time, even teachers can be very, very critical about the students, right? So students today are very sensitive. And one needs to encourage them rather than criticize them. Secondly, you need to have a stress-free study environment at home. So parents will make sure that there is no problem at home which might affect the student. They should constantly avoid comparison with another student. See, everybody is made differently. Every student have their own strengths and weaknesses. So one should always not compare his or her child with some other child. He will have his own strengths and weaknesses. The other child will have his own strength. Your child might be good in football. The other child might be good in studies. Your child might be a very good swimmer. The other one doesn't know how to swim. So one cannot compare. And expectations also should be limited. If you keep pressurizing the child, he will go into depression, he will go into anxiety, and there will be more stress. Also, a lot of emotional support is required. See, when you're studying and if you're alone, a lot of thoughts can distract you. But you have supportive parents who are encouraging you, who are rewarding your hard work. I think that makes a very good household. So, parents also play a very important role. And teachers also should, constantly encourage students, I feel. Because if they encourage them, the students will want to study more and more, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, and another, again the same thing, how the students can be motivated. What could make them motivate for studies?
See, exams are just a part and parcel of life. One has to go through exams because one has to learn. Learning is, I think, absolutely something that you can go on and on in your life. One should never stop learning. And exams should be considered as a step. Not as like something that can make you or break you kind of a thing. If you take too much stress, okay, if I fail, what will I tell my parents? What face will I show to society? I think this is what is leading to mass scale depression and mass scale suicides also amongst children, because so much pressure is being put. One should always understand that health comes first. A good health, a good mind and good body will lead to better conditions for studying and memorizing and recalling information also. So it's necessary to balance your life.
We have spoken about parents and teachers, that is, and how should be the atmosphere in and around. So now I would like to how the society should contribute for the students, because there should be some peaceful atmosphere in and around a house. So how you think the society contributes
See, there's a very हिंदी में कहते हैं कि जो भी आप कर लो दुनिया कुछ ना कुछ कहेगी, right? So one has to always understand that society will keep talking, right? You know where you are. 100 people will come and tell you 100 things, but one should not be affected by it. And your household issues should be such that you are not distracted. If in a house parents are constantly fighting or arguing, then obviously the child doesn't get the bandwidth to study, right? He's constantly thinking what's going to happen about my future. You should take care of your household. Society will keep talking. Of course, cultural and social limitations should stop you from doing anything that is not correct. But society is not concerned about your future. Society is not going to give you bread on your table. One should break free from the expectations of the society. Do something that you really love, something that people will look up to when you present it to them. I think it's very necessary to find your true self. A lot of parents force their students take science.
Go for engineering.
Go for engineering, go for science. You know how many engineers we have today in India? We have so many engineers. We do not have those many people doing philosophy or humanities or religious texts or religious studies. Why not? Why not? Isn't spirituality a part and parcel of our life? Isn't psychology or mental studies a part and part of your life? Isn't humanities also necessary to understand sociology and its concepts? Why are you discouraging your child from picking up arts or humanities? Why you're discouraging them from picking commerce? They like doing what they like doing. See, financial limitations are different. If a child wants to aspire for something that requires a lot of funding, it could be understood that okay, right now we do not have that kind of financial capacity, but at least the line of choice should be the same. Slowly, the child might become capable of producing his or her own work, and maybe get a scholarship, a Fulbright scholarship. But forcing him to be a doctor, I know so many dentists who are now choreographers. I know doctors who have given up MBBS and are doing something else. One doctor became a yoga professor. So, why to do it when it's better to like get down quickly if your train is going in the wrong direction, because if you get down very late, that much time has already passed, and to cover up that time is very, very difficult. Right.
You're being the head of the Department of Mass Communication, Mass Media. So, can you share some examples with us how you're dealing with the students?
So we obviously have to deal a lot with the students, because we find one thing that students are really addicted to the mobile phones. If we even take the mobile phones for 5 minutes, it's like fish without water. Right? So we teach them how their phones should be kept in do not disturb mode, how they should take breaks between social media, right? How they can inculcate self-discipline amongst themselves. And we also teach them various remembering techniques, recall techniques. We make sure that we don't have to torture today's Gen Z. They are born with something that they already have. They are born in an environment of artificial intelligence. They are born in the environment of cell phones and social media. It's like telling someone that don't use technology for your growth. But what is more important is ethical usage of technology, ethical usage of social media, ethical usage of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence should not take over originality. Today there are so many softwares, when you put information in it, they immediately tell you this is sourced from artificial intelligence. One doesn't have to do it. Right? One can take help of artificial intelligence, but not become so dependent on it that your entire work is based on AI. So
that creativity they should maintain.
So in order to encourage that creativity, we give them live projects. We make them do it in the class in front of us. We do not tell them to go home and research. We tell them to sit in the classroom and do a lot of creative exercises. So as a mass
and you take them to exhibition or some
exhibitions. They have industrial trips. They have a lot of facilities that we give them. We do workshops from them. Recently we did a radio jockeying workshop for them. And this expands their creativity. And at the same time, one needs to live with technology and still be very, very ethical and have integrity around it. So that is something that we focus on in our class.
You mentioned about social media, the distractions from social media. Can you, how the students should deal with these distractions? So how to get away?
So you have to put a lock on your phone, and you have to take a 2-hour break from social media. And see, students who are self-motivated, conscious, they will do it.
And 24 hours, you have got 24 hours, so you have to distribute hours. I feel.
Yes, you have to distribute hours. Like 2 hours I will give to this, 2 hours I will give to that. Also, social media is slightly dangerous also. Cyberbullying, fake news, a lot of things, which actually can be dangerous. Uh, End up coming into the lap of students, and they do not know how to use this information. Right? Something goes on, some fake news comes up, people react to it. We have to make students aware about this whole fake news, how the fake news travels, and how one should not rely on everything unless and until you have established the facts. Because compared to print media, see, print media has a lot of censoring. Print media has an editor-in-chief, there are sub-editors, there are quality editors, they go through everything, then only it comes in the print media. Social media has nobody to look after it. That is why social media can create a lot of storm. And there's a very thin line between what is freedom of speech and what is culturally ethical. People say anything in the name of freedom of speech. Anything. Sometimes people say, oh, you know what, I did not refer to somebody directly. But the bottom line is, what were your intentions? Isn't intention a necessity? Isn't intention something that runs the idea of information? Right? So, if people can understand the intention behind what you're trying to say, that is enough. You don't have to directly refer to somebody. You don't have to go into technical. If you're going against the culture and the norms, if you're disrespecting somebody who has contributed to the nation in any way, and even if you are not referring to them directly, your intention is to insult them. And that is enough. Right? So, a lot of liberty is taken in the name of freedom of speech, and I think that liberty should be handled very carefully, and especially for media students, what to speak, when to speak, what not to speak, and how to speak, and how to not offend anybody in the process. See, you can put your ideas and thoughts. Nobody's telling you. Our government is one of the strongest democracies in the world. We have elections regularly, and we allow people to express themselves. That is why we have a parliamentary system. It's not a dictatorship. And so one must carefully express their views and opinions rather than going full-fledged and talking negatively about somebody. I think speech should be very carefully planned.
And then delivered.
Now, I think the students also struggle with remembering what they have learned throughout the year and how to exactly improve their memory. How can...
So, there are many techniques for this. The first is active recall. When you try to divide your answers into key points, you remember better. When you learn big paragraphs, you can't remember. So, first is to do active recalling of the key points, then you can automatically build up. Second is called Feynman technique. So once you understand the concept, you sit with somebody and you explain them that thing. Right? You explain your friend what it is. When you're explaining it to that person in simple words, your understanding of the concept becomes better. So this is a very good technique. Third technique is mind mapping. Okay, third technique is mind mapping. Visual learners can create diagrams to connect ideas. You make flowcharts. So these visual techniques can really help. Flowcharts help you remember information very well. So that can happen. Then there is repetition strategy. You have to revise your topic after one day, then revise your topic after 1 week, then revise your topic after 1 month.
Oh, that improves.
That improves you. You'll remember things better for the exam. Give yourself some mock tests. Go online and prepare some mock tests. So there's a lot of mix of these strategies that you can use to remember better.
And solving the earlier question papers.
Yes, that really helps. Solving the earlier papers is a type of mock test only. Taking the paper and solving it. So these are important techniques.
So last two questions could be like how exact tomorrow is a paper and night you're struggling for mujhe ye karna hai, mujhe wo karna hai. That sort of things are happening in your mind. So exactly last moment, what should the student should be preparing himself?
See, what happens is a lot of people prepare last minute. And that leads to cramming of information. Your brain gets crammed up, it cannot remember everything. So last day should only be meant for revision. Final day before exam should not be meant for fresh learning.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you've already learned, you should revise the key points. You should go through the short notes. You should do a quick self-test to see how much do you remember. Of course, solving last year's question papers really help because it covers important aspects of the syllabus. Then you have to pack your essentials like admit card, stationery, water bottle. 8 hours of sleep, like I said, very necessary. And be hydrated, be hydrated.
To carry a whole ticket.
Right, and do not panic. Panic leads to forgetting everything. If we have the learning curve, we also have the forgetting curve. And stress leads you to being forgetful. Don't take stress. Everything, even if you have not prepared, if you understand the concept and you can write it in your own words, that will fetch you marks. Nothing. Professors are not here to fail students. Their agenda is not to fail them. Their agenda is to read the answer and see if a concept is understood or not. Right? So I think last minute you should avoid in all scenarios.
And if the students do well, even the college shines before they are the way. After today is the paper and the students feel like how they go to totally blank on that day when they are writing the paper. Some questions they don't able to answer them. So what should the students do at that time?
So yes, students do go blank. A lot of students have come after the exam and said that sir sab kuch yaad kiya tha, but then I froze and I couldn't remember a word. Now this happens particularly to some students, but there are ways to relax during that time. This is basically a panic attack or an anxiety sort of an attack. So first is to pause and breathe. Take a deep breath, count up to 10, calm your nerves, right? If you can't remember a question, skip it, don't attempt it, go to another question. If you can't remember that, go to another question. Question paper has a lot of questions. So if you don't remember one thing, don't panic. Go to the next one, solve that, and later you can come back to the previous question. Use association technique. Association is basically recalling all the keywords. When you know the keywords or images, you are able to remember the answer better. Another thing is never leave the answer blank. Write something. If you don't know anything, still write something. Even if you're unsure, write anything. While writing, it might recall or trigger your memory. Right? Suddenly you might start writing and you realize, oh, sir said this in the classroom, this in the classroom. I may not have studied, but it has triggered some aspect of the memory. Right? So that also helps a lot. And definitely do not panic. Is the final message I would like to give everybody.
And last question could be the exam period is coming during summer only, and this summer is very everywhere there is very hot temperatures. We are around 34 degrees we are facing nowadays. So how should they prepare for that?
Like I said, summer is nature's thing. Right. And if you carry enough water for yourself, instead of 1 liter, maybe carry 2 liters in the exam hall, because you do not want to leave the exam hall and fetch water. You want to use that time to basically write your exam. So maybe drink a lot of water, stay hydrated. During summers our body loses a lot of water compared to winters. So just to face the heat well, you have to stay hydrated, eat a lot of fruits. At the same time, use sunscreen, take care of your skin. Just remain very hydrated, I think is what I would like to say during summers. And plan all of this also, because I've seen that sometimes students even faint in exam halls.
They have headache.
And these students are basically very dehydrated. Due to stress in the exam, they have not had enough water. They have not taken care of their health. And if your health is not good, your exam will also be not good. Health always comes first, then the exam. So if you keep yourself well hydrated, drinking a lot of water, having a lot of fruits, having a good breakfast before exam, a lot of students don't want to eat because of stress. Exam dene ke baad khayenge. No, your body needs that to your brain, I think, absorbs a lot of your body's energy. and that brain needs nutrients, that brain needs food, so you can't skip. So I think it's very essential that summer, winter, all these things, whatever is required, should be planned well in advance. And our parents do play a very important role in this, because parents have to, because student is so focused on the exam, he forgets to drink water, he forgets to eat his fruits. I think then parents have to intervene. Parents also have to be equally responsible and careful for this, for the children.
Thank you. We discussed at a vast how to handle the stress and how to prepare for exams. Thank you, Dr. Yogesh Dhanjani, for joining us on Acharya 90 FM and enlightening our students.
It was a pleasure, Tejaswini. It's always good to, come back and talk about stress, which is such an important issue in today's time and age. That it needs to be well addressed, it needs to be spoken about, and I think everybody should learn to manage it effectively. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So friends, today we had Dr. Yogesh Dhanjani sir with us, who is the head of the Department of Mass Media from NG Acharya and DK Marathi College. We will have definitely a next session in we can invite Dr. Yogesh Dhanjani sir to have what could be the careers in mass media or any other subject also. So keep listening Acharya 90 FM, your own radio.
Acharya 90 FM